Well, welcome to another Memphis Drawing. This is Memphis Drawing 184. Today's drawing prompt is Dream House. Let's take a look. Prompt is Dream House. We didn't have a dream house, so we drew this Craftsman style 1930s farmhouse with some outbuildings and a tractor and a Model A. If you want to see how we did it, stay tuned, because that's what we're going to do today. Now it's going to take me twice as long, but I'm trying to. This isn't the book. This is just a piece of paper, and I'm kind of making a thumbnail of what I want to draw today. I remember looking through some old Popular Mechanics magazines from the early 20th century, and I saw this one article. It was titled Build Your Own House for $500. Can you imagine that? I don't think anybody ever did, even in 1930, but from time to time I watch a video this guy makes. I don't know if he's a real estate agent or something in New York City, and he goes around. I shouldn't give him a shout out if I can't even remember his name, but it's funny. He goes around and shows all these apartments for sale in New York City, and I'm just amazed at the prices. He says cool things like, yeah, and all this for only $5,000 a month. I got this little garage. Sitting over the side, old-time garage. My trick yesterday of putting out another celebrity drawing didn't work. Got the same number of views. But for some reason, our drawing of the sop with camel that we drew several days ago, that's caught on, and we got it. It got like 100 views in one day. But yet yesterday I did have a silver cloud in the old lining, and that was that it had the longest view time had for a while. And that's what the YouTube algorithm goes by, is how long people watch a video. I don't think they care about the clicks, the number of clicks, as much as they do the amount of time people actually watch. Now what this is, this is simply a tracing of my book size. So now I got to I got to transfer this to this, so that'll go in there like that. Actually, it'll go in there like this. I'm just making basically a whole new drawing here. Since I've got a little practice on the first one, I'm drawing the car, which is more difficult than drawing the house, because the house is all straight lines. But the car has no straight lines. I really like these old cars. I like the style of them, but I think mostly I like the fact that you could understand them. I mean, you could basically tell a kid somebody knew nothing about cars and explain it to them. No computers, no electronics, everything mechanical. Well, my steps are all wrong. See, my steps have to start if I continue that line down. My steps have to start right there. Here I'm drawing in that little garage we drew. Since we made this a 1930s scene, gotta make the garage doors look old-timey. What I'm doing here is I'm going to put another barn in the background. We can make it small enough. Put in some of the background first. Have a little tree here. Well, I got the background kind of laid out. I think I'm going to do the, I got a lot of detail I got to add. And I think I'll do that in black ink. All I'm talking about is like the window frames here. I got an old John Deere tractor sitting in the doorway of this barn. Now I did my little barn in the background. I think I might kind of leave it light. Because it's in the background. Things that are in the background are lighter and softer. Okay, let me keep drawing here. Now on these posts, you can see the very front, and then you can see the side down to the railing. Go ahead and get crazy here and try to do this car. This is a Ford Model A. I have to tell you that because from my drawing, you might not know that. I'll tell you a quick story that I think is really interesting. Ford, he went public, and he came up with the $5 day, and he was constantly working to sell his cars at the cheapest price possible and to make them as reliable and tough as possible. Well, that policy kind of hurt the bottom line. And the shareholders didn't like it. So what Henry Ford did is he resigned as president of the company and put his son, Edsel, in charge of the company. Made his son president of Ford Motor Company. Then he floated rumors that he was going to start his own private car company. He was just going to leave Ford altogether, leave it to the stockholders. Well, that caused the Ford stock to plummet. Because at that point, there was no Ford Motor Company without Henry Ford. And he knew that. So the stock of the Ford Motor Company plummeted. And guess what Henry did? Henry bought up all that cheap stock so he could take full control of the company and not have to answer to the stockholders. Pretty sneaky. I don't know if it's ethical, but it was definitely sneaky. What I do is put the rail in. Handrail. Now it's onto our little staircase. I can already see a mistake. This rail should be a little bit higher. And then this one goes right here. And this rail goes in there. And then here we'll have some of that lattice work kind of stuff. Let me show you what I'm doing on that lattice work. It's kind of small, you might not be able to see it. The lattice work goes like this. And then I got to carefully put the other lattice work coming the other way underneath it, like this. And I blackened in the windows, left a little white, just kind of gives some indication of, glass in the windows. kind of going with a kind of a brown or off-white color for the siding. I think a lot of farmhouses were painted white. But not necessarily Craftsman style like this. They had a lot of browns and earth tones. Now here I'm putting in some detail where the boards meet. And here, this corner of the roof right here is going to be the most distinct, and it'll get lighter and softer over here. But right here, at least, I can see the outline of the shingles. I don't want to make them too bright or anything, but if you look real close, you can see the outline of the shingles. Okay, I'll do the same thing on this. This corner right here should have the most detail. Well, we're going to color in our car. That limited color selections with the Model T, but the Model A had you get whatever color you wanted. I mean, not like today, but you could get all the colors that car manufacturers normally offered. Now I'll finish our little barn over here on the other side. I'm going to do it the same way. Same shingles, but I just got to make sure that I make it a lot smaller because it's further in the background. I'm going to add a little rail fence. Coming along this little driveway here. Now to get my trees in shape. And I don't want to make them too prominent because they're in the background and they're really not, they're just filling up space really. I don't want to be the focus of attention or anything. I'll put in here is a little slate walkway or slabs of limestone or whatever they had. They would, old farmhouses, they would take whatever flat stones they got out of the field and make walkways out of them and After a while, they sink in the ground. But until they did, they make a pretty good walkway. Well, that does it for Memphis Drawing 184. The prompt was Dream House. So we drew a Craftsman style 1930s house with a Model A out in front, some outbuildings in the back. Overall, I think it turned out all right. Let's see what tomorrow's prompt is. Tomorrow's prompt will be number 185, and it is Kaleidoscope. So that ought to be interesting. Hope to see you tomorrow.